going too fast. I'm taking 3.
I'm going for the St. Louis now.
Oh no!
Son of a bitch.
You get your 2?
Yeah. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thotgor here, of course, and today I have 2 fairly amazing video clips to show. The first one is a little more amazing than the second, but you know, it still, we end up with a bang here anyway. So you can see I'm on in my Marblehead, and I'm on straight, right? And the whole idea that was in my mind of playing this battle today is that I'm like, I don't know, maybe 100,000 away from buying the Kagero. So I'm running my Marblehead, my Turpits, and you know, other lower tier ships that I do fairly well in. Fairly often, like the Marblehead, to get as much money as possible. So that's the whole mindset here that I'm going into. You can see I started on the southern end of the map here, and we've got the sea point in front of me, and this is the point that I'm going to be focused on. I was considering going to the north, right, to help out at A, because they're fairly weak up there, but didn't want to do it. You know, looking at the composition of the enemy team when the battle first started here, there were a lot of Omahas and Phoenixes, and I can just destroy those things with this Marblehead. It's well, you can destroy an Omaha or Phoenix with anything, really, but the Marblehead really excels at doing that. So that's, you know, more or less the mindset that I'm going into this, and of course, you know, underlying all of that is to have as much fun as possible, because it's a Marblehead. This thing's amazing. This thing and my Minikaze, when I take these out, it's just magical things seem to happen. What made this battle so amazing as well is this is actually the second highest scoring battle that I've ever had. I don't have a recording of the first highest scoring battle, unfortunately. I think I did at one point, then maybe I lost it, I don't know. It was bullshit anyway, but this is the second highest scoring battle I've ever had, and it turned out really, really well. So you can see I'm taking some shots off at the Omaha over there, right? This guy, I am going to show this guy right up until the end. So I'm switched over to armor piercing, and we're just putting shots into him. There are other enemy ships around here, like there's a Kuma, there's some battleships, a Wyoming and stuff like that. There's this Clemson here. So, you know, just have to be aware of all of these guys, and they're capping the sea point at this time. I'm not going to push in there right away. You know, it's better to stay not at maximum distance, but at a fair distance away, just because I don't want to be the center of attention. Because, I mean, the Marblehead doesn't have a whole crap ton of ammo. I mean, it's essentially an Omaha, right? So I have the same armor, so I have to be careful with it. What is that was shooting at me? Was that a Kolberg, I believe? Yeah, the Tier 3 German cruiser. This thing, I didn't know whether or not to shoot armor piercing or high explosive at it. I settled with high explosive rather to get this guy gone, because it just seemed to do more damage. You can see right now though I'm still experimenting, right? I've got my armor piercing queued up, yeah, seeing what that'll do. But also I was aware of the Omahas and the Phoenixes and the Kuma that was around, right? So I wanted to have armor piercing ready for them. But there's the Clemson again, the destroyer, so I've got to switch back over to high explosive and start putting shots into this guy, because he's really a big threat. I mean, if I don't do anything about him, he could eventually work his way in, you know, within the 5-kilometer range there of his torpedoes most likely, and be able to fire those off, and then that might make a bad day for me. So just wanting to deal with this guy as much as I possibly can, right, while I see him and stuff. So there goes some salvos into him. He really doesn't have a chance at this point. An ally takes him out. Fantastic job. We don't have to worry about him anymore. Now I've got, I think it's a Miyogi and a Wyoming in terms of battleships that's out there in front of me. There's still the Kuma and there's still the Omaha. So we need to deal with these people now as best we can. You can see in the north, the A point is more or less lost. The team then moved from A to the B, rightfully so, and now they're capping B. So B is more or less ours. It's in our control. They're defending it right now. So we have to take C, because we're not in a position to do anything at all in A. So it's really going to come down to, you know, us down here in this position. What was that? That was the Wyoming. I didn't know if I should be shooting at the Wyoming or the Miyogi. I think it should have been the Miyogi first, right? Because the Miyogi is actually the battleship that the rest of the allies around me are focusing on. Yeah. Yeah, you can see their shots going in, right? But then the Kolberg pops up again, and I'm so, oh, okay, well, alright, we're going to start shooting at this guy. Because I figure he'd be an easy kill, easy to get rid of. And sure, it's only tier 3, but these things can really pump out the shells. And I just didn't want him to do any further damage to any one of us, the allies that I have around me, right? Setting fires, doing whatnot to us, don't need it. And you can see he's now engaging me as well, and he's just pumping away. I'm putting armor piercing in because I'm still, like I say, still trying to figure out what I should be firing at him. And the armor piercing is doing the trick. The problem I have with it though is it's not doing any additional damage, right? It's not. I don't have the benefit of doing fire damage and whatnot. So I think it's going to be high explosive on these guys. And you can see, switching back over to high explosive, fire over the mountain. Luckily my shots make it through the trees there, and I get him. There's my first kill. Phenomenal. So we'll need to look around, see what else is there. There's still the 2 battleships, but I think this is that's the Kuma. I don't really know what this guy was doing. It seemed as though he was stopped, and then sees me coming, or maybe he would not stop, maybe going really slow, but he sees me, and he starts noticing the damage I'm doing. Like that salvo right there, took out his engines. You'll notice he repaired it, so I put another salvo into him, and there goes his engines again. Yep, so another, more salvo, or more citadel hits on this guy, and it's as if he realized what I was doing, tried to run away, he just couldn't do it. There's a second kill. That was amazing. Now 2 battleships, so Wyoming and Miyogi. This is what it's going to come down to over here, at least so I think at this point in the battle anyway. So I'm putting high explosive shots into them, right? Well, I queued them up and, empty the barrels with the armor piercing. There is the Miyogi. There he is there, and then I take some shots, start taking shots here from this guy over here. I believe it's the Königsberg. No, it's the Karlsruhe, the tier 4 German cruiser, that's right. Dodged some torpedoes. I imagine those were from the Kuma, but the Karlsruhe was back there, so I'm going to start putting shots into him. Again, I'm trying to figure out what shells I should be shooting at him. I'm shooting armor piercing, but I do quickly decide, later in the battle anyway, do decide that no, high explosive is the way to go, and you can see I'm switching back to high explosive now as well. It's just better, I think. So, still have the Miyogi, still have the Wyoming. There's Wyoming, he's on fire, so put a few shots into him, but here's the Miyogi. Going to focus on this guy because he's fairly close to me. He's on fairly low health. The rest of the team is focusing down, so I should be helping out. So I'm just firing all of my cannons, my guns, as they reload into this guy. Yeah, but you can see I just don't like the way you end up putting a few shots in at a time. That's why I fire full salvo. So I stop and I let my guns fully reload, all of them, so I can start doing full salvos into this guy. There we go. I mean, you can see it here. And so now we'll start pumping in full salvos at a time into him. I just find it does, I don't know, just looks cooler maybe. Anyway, doing damage, setting fires to him. He's almost gone. Other allies around are still focusing on him, right? We need to get this guy gone. There is really no other option to it. By this point, we do have the C cap points, so that's awesome. But the enemy is putting pressure on B. In fact, they are capping B a little here, so we need to be aware of that. This guy is gone. That is my 3rd kill. Yes. Now the Wyoming. Alright, need to do something about this guy. He's the last enemy ship down here, basically. If we can get this guy gone, then we can circle back and go help B out. And take out, whatever enemy ships may be remaining. You can see they still do have quite a few ships left. But I don't know where they were. I don't know what they were doing. Maybe they're slow and just working their way to the south. I don't know. Wyoming is just, getting the good news here from all the allies I have around me. And we're just pumping shots into them. Just doing whatever we can to kill this guy as quick as possible so we can all turn around and we can all go help support B, because we need to keep B. Even though, yeah, we are just destroying these people. That's my 4th kill. Even though we are just destroying these people, we still do need to work as a team here to make sure that all this work isn't for naught. There's a Congo. I'm afraid of this Congo. You can see by now I have, less than half health, maybe a quarter health, a little more, maybe a third. We'll say a third health left. So I have to be fairly careful here. I don't want the Congo to focus on me and hit me with those armor-piercing shells probably get a few citadels, and most likely lead to my death. So that's what I don't want to happen. While I was turning around and focusing in on the Congo, the allies I have managed to take care of the enemies that were at the B point. So now, we have these 2 points. They're uncontested. It's really a matter of chasing down the rest of the enemies, or at least meeting up with the enemies that are coming for B. Because B is definitely going to be the spot that they're going to now focus or attempt to take back. It just makes sense. And you can see enemies popping up around B now. Still focused on the Congo though, we need to get this guy gone as well. No question about it, right? We can't have this Congo running around behind our lines while we're trying to push forward. He's got to go. I don't know what was going through this guy's mind, like thinking that he can just drive straight in here without actually dying, or maybe that was his plan. I don't know. But you can see, didn't work out very good for him. He's gone. Ally got him. That's fantastic. So now we have to start thinking about B, checking to see what's around B, where we can go to support. My initial plan was to go up the channel, not through B, but on the east side of B, up that channel, to go in there, see what I could do around in there. But quickly it doesn't really work out. See, I get this guy here pops up. So I'm thinking, yeah, alright, we're going to do something about him. And then there's another enemy there. It was the carrier, it was a Bogue, and I think it was the Shrew, or one of them anyway. So I want to kill those guys, because it does look like they're coming into the B point. And besides, I've got this St. Louis next to me on the port side. I want to say port quarter, but I don't know what that refers to. So on the port side, he turned as well. He's going to be here supporting me. So all right, yeah, we're going to defend it. I am aware of that guy, the other Wyoming battleship. He's right there, but luckily there's this mountain between us, so he's not going to be able to fire into me or at me, which is excellent. I don't need that. Like I said, third health left, health remaining. I don't need to take any hits and die at this point, because this point I am doing amazingly well. But the coup de grace of this clip here is coming up shortly. It involves the Shrew and the Bogue. Yes, it does. So there is the Shrew and there is the Bogue. So I start putting shots into the Bogue right away. High explosive shots, no brainer on this one, just shoot it in. I get some nice citadels, start setting some fire, start doing some serious damage. There's some more citadels, there's a Confederate medal. Fantastic. Just keep putting shots into him. The Shrew comes into view. He's on really low health, so I start switching in between the Shrew and the Bogue. I'm shooting at both at the same time, right? One salvo into the Shrew's on fire. Next salvo into the aircraft carrier. Do some more damage on him. More salvos into the Shrew now as well, and then back over to the aircraft carrier. Because the Shrew went behind some islands. He's on fire though. There's high caliber, and there is a destroyer as well, so need to be aware of things going on here. There goes the Shrew for my, I think maybe this is my 4th kill. Yeah, there goes the aircraft carrier. The allies got him. There goes some salvos into the destroyer. I managed to kill him, get a double strike, and a devastating strike. Whew. Yeah. Look at that. 6 kills. I think it was 10 citadels on there. The Confederate, high caliber, devastating strike, and the elusive double strike. Yes. Did it somehow. Type in chat, man. Because that was something else. This is actually the most kills I've ever gotten in a battle too. I've never gotten higher than 6 kills. Always looking for the elusive higher kills as well, but it just never seems to happen for me. Somehow, finally, in this battle, I've managed to break the 5 kill mark, and I pulled out the 6 kills and all these fancy medals. What a battle. There is still the enemy Wyoming, but he's not going to be able to do nothing. The points, right? I put a final salvo in, they don't even make it there, and the game ends. Look at these results in terms of money and experience. This is during the 2 times weekend event, so 7,100 2 times. I didn't have any flags or any special camo on there. 396,000 credits. I am top of the team overall, obviously. No one else even broke the 1,000 experience mark, and I'm sitting up here at 2,300. That was amazing. More than double the experience than anyone else, right? In terms of damage done, we're on this screen a little while here because I'm actually adding up the numbers. So it's 126,649 damage done. Yes, second highest damage done battle I've ever had. The highest was in the Minikaze, and I did 144,000 damage in that battle. So this was not too shabby at all. Really, really happy with it, obviously. Taking a look, over 300,000 credits earned, and again the 7,300 experience. So that was phenomenal. Few battles later, I jump into my Tier 4 Russian Destroyer, yes. Working towards that Tier 5. In fact, at this point, I've got some decisions to make. So while the battle's sort of ramping up here, we'll talk about these decisions. So, buying the Kagero, right? I'm, 100,000 away from that, so I'm going to have that tonight. Or I could hold off on the Kagero, and I could buy the Genvi, the Tier 5 Russian Destroyer, right now. Yep. Or... yeah, there's another decision. Or I'm about 20,000 away from the Tier 7 German cruiser, so I could, this evening, get that as well. So I don't know which of those three ships I should buy. I'm like more or less stuck on the Kagero. I really want to get that Kagero to get another Tier 9 going. Then I'll need, I think, how much is the Genvi? Like 2.6 million for the Genvi. So that's not too bad. I could probably do that. And in doing that, then I could probably, get enough experience, the 20,000 I need for the York. A lot of decisions here. I don't quite know what I should do. Interested to know what your thoughts would be on it. I really do want that Russian destroyer, or that Russian, I do really want the Russian destroyer. I want the German cruiser more, but I also want that Kagero, the Tier 9 Japanese destroyer. So it's a conundrum for me. I'm still thinking about it. Not sure what to do. Anyway, getting into the battle we have here, you can see in the Tier 4 Russian destroyer on north, no, this is fault line, sorry, on fault line, and I'm going to the place where A normally is on this map. Bit of drink there. Going to A, seeing what's over here. There is obviously this not domination, or the 3 cap point domination, so I don't need to go over here. I see this enemy destroyer pop up, so I start thinking, well, maybe I want to go the other way, right? So I'm starting to turn to my ship here. I'm getting ready, but this Russian destroyer, this Tier 4 Russian destroyer, is painfully slow. So I figure, nope, turn back around. I'm going to push in here, see what's going on in here, what I can do. To help the team win victory. There is a Tenryu, yes, the Tier 4, or Tier 3 rather, Japanese cruiser. So there he is. I'm spotted by the planes, so I figure there's no point in trying to get any closer to him. I start firing off my guns, because your guns on your Russian destroyer is your primary armament here. It's not the torpedoes by any means. So I just start putting salvo after salvo into the sky. I've got him set on fire. I took out his steering, but he repairs all that, right? So that's all gone now. But there, I set him on fire again. So he's not going to be able to repair this fire. So that's awesome. He's within my torp range. I have the upgraded torp, so it's 5 kilometers, so he's in the torp range. So I launch off full salvo torpedoes at him. But I do have an ally with me, and both he and I are putting shots into the Tenryu, trying to get him gone, right? You could say fighting for the kill, but whatever. Turns out I win. Get the kill. That's my first kill. So awesome. Great. Now looking around, I figure that there were going to be more ships over here. Turns out there really wasn't. Any of the ships that were kind of over here are really slow, or, as we're quickly going to find out, have all turned around, and the battle is all going to be focused over on the east side. In that channel, out of that channel, and around that channel. Just basically all over the east side is where we're going to end up fighting here. Unfortunately, it's painfully slow to get there in the old, whatever this destroyer is called, Tier 4 Russian destroyer. But not to fret. We do have one last speed boost here, and we do encounter some enemies along the way, so that'll make things a little more interesting for us. But yes, looking forward to the Tier 5 Genvi. Now, I have, I think, 10,000 experience on this Russian destroyer right now, and I have 11,000 free experience just sitting there that I can use without having to convert to gold. So using that free experience, I can then get my Tier 5 Russian destroyer, but I don't know if I really want to do that, because if I save that experience and use it towards the German cruiser at Tier 7, then I'm only 20,000 away from that, right? So now you're understanding my conundrum here. See, because I'm not really a big fan of this Russian Tier 4 destroyer. It's actually quite painful. If I don't want to use any free experience, then yeah, it's only 9,000 experience away, and probably do that in, I don't know, a few battles maybe. But I don't know. Do I really want to spend the time in this ship? I probably will. So yeah, alright. I've talked myself out of getting the Tier 5 right now. So now it's between the Tier 9 Kagero or the Tier 7 German cruiser. What do you think I should get? Love to know your thoughts on that. Leave it in the comments and we'll see. Now, enemies are popping up. So, St. Louis over there, he's, way off in the distance, not a big threat, and our allies are engaging him, so that's cool. There's New York right there. That New York is, I don't know what he was doing. But for the rest of the battle, you'll notice that he just sort of hides or cowers over there. There's a Minikaze. He popped up, so I'm going to start putting shots into him. And in fact, I'm turning towards him because I really want to get him gone. He's too close to my allies. You can see he just launched all his torpedoes, and I don't want any allies to die. Unfortunately, there's a allied St. Louis there. He got hit by torpedoes, and he's gone. So all the more reason, right, to get the Minikaze gone as soon as possible. So I'm pulling up fairly close to him, lining up some torpedoes. We're going to launch a full spread of torpedoes over there. Well, I guess two-thirds of spread of torpedoes. Start putting shots into the Minikaze right away as soon as the torpedoes are gone. I know that the Minikaze's cannons are probably turning on me, right, and he's turning his ship, so he's not really going to be able to return fire at this point. He goes behind the island. Alright, I see his torpedoes, easily able to dodge these torpedoes, but he's still going behind the island. All of my torpedoes miss him, unfortunately. Wasn't able to get a hit on any of those, and he's quickly going to pop out of sight here, actually. But before he does, I fire some speculative torpedoes. So that one I had the guide assist on. These two, no, not at all. Those are just fired off. Wherever they go is where they go. I'm turning back around because now we're going to duel it out with the Minikaze. This is what's going through my mind. There he is. He pops up. So obviously start putting shots into him. He managed to get his turrets turned around and fire at me, but he misses. I took out his engines. Here comes my torpedoes. There he goes. He's gone. That is my second kill. Fantastic. He got one last spread off before he died, but luckily I'm able to avoid it without any real concern. And now I'm just turning around, coming back, and going to deal with all of these crazy battleships. And I think there's maybe 2 cruisers in there or something. Yeah, there's a Königsberg and a Furutaka at least, and I think it's 2 New Yorks. No, we're gonna go Wyoming and New York. But again, that New York is just hiding behind this island. That's where he stayed the whole damn time. I don't understand it. It wasn't until our team pushed around this island and started firing into him that we actually managed to kill him. But we'll see that as it happens anyway. So I'm just driving straight towards the island, trying to close the distance as much as possible and pick out any targets that are going to be within my torpedo range, because this is a perfect setup for an ambush. This is where the torpedoes on your Russian destroyers, this is where they're really meant to be used, or how they're really meant to be used, and the situations that you should look out for in order to use your torpedoes in this manner. You can see I'm lining up on that Furutaka. He's almost within my range, so I'm going to close the distance a little more here, but the spread is going to be iffy. Regardless, right? No matter, even if I fire off within my range, like I'm doing now, he's 4.4 kilometers away or something. Yeah, he doesn't actually hit any of those any of that spread. He is able to avoid it. And in fact, I was regretting firing it because I should have saved at least one so I could fire off this Königsberg here. But luckily, I have my smoke. So I pop my smoke and I'm turning in on myself. I am coming in and out of detection, but the Königsberg, for whatever reason, isn't really focused on me right now. So I'm putting salvos into him, doing some fires, doing a bit of damage to him. It's not bad. And then finally my torpedoes reload. Well, I say finally. The Russian torpedoes reload really, really fast. He's in a reverse. So I've launched all 3 of my a full salvo off at him. He launched his torpedoes off at me, but easily able to dodge those torpedoes, not a big deal. And while I'm waiting for my torpedoes to hit, I'm still firing salvos into him, trying to do whatever damage I can get, so ensuring that if a torpedo hits him, he will die. That's what I want. I want him gone. So here comes some torpedoes. Blam. There is the 3rd kill. So excellent. At this point, My allies are all around me. We've got all these enemies corralled around this island, and they're going to die. Looking at the scores, 700 and something to 300 and something. They don't really have a good chance of winning this. There's only 4 of them left. There's a Furutaka. And there is what is the battleship? I think that's the New York. So I'm lining up in the New York and going to try and get this guy gone. I fire all 3 of my salvos off, figuring that there's no way he's going to be able to avoid those. These torpedoes, I believe, were fired from the Furutaka, and I'm able to avoid them while avoiding my ally. That was something else. The Ally Congo, though, did take out the New York, so don't need to worry about that guy anymore. The Furutaka was putting shots into me, but I was able to avoid some of them, so that's good, because this destroyer can't take any hits at all. And we still do have some battleships hiding behind this island, so I'm circling back, letting my torpedoes reload, and I'm going to try and get another spread off of them, try and do some more damage, get some more kills. Just taking a look to see where the enemy ships, like what course they're on, right? Where direction are they going to come out from behind this island? Furutaka is back and he starts putting shots into me. I take a look at the torpedo angle on him, but I can't fire at him because they're just going to go into the island. So I need to get behind this island. There we go. Behind the island, broken line of sight. He doesn't see me anymore. Allies finished off another enemy ship, so that's great. They only have 2 left. This poor battleship here who just hid behind this island the whole damn time, and the Furutaka. There's the Furutaka. There is my friendly Congo. So I know my torpedoes aren't going to hit the Congo as long as he keeps turning away. So I take the chance and I fire the full salvo off, and coming back around now, avoiding the island there. I don't want to run into that island. Putting salvos into the Furutaka. Gonna try and get this guy gone. Hopefully my torpedoes are going to hit him. Not meant to be, though. He's the last enemy as well. He does see my torpedoes, so he's able to avoid them, but just narrowly. I almost got him. Maybe if he would have just turned into them, like made a mistake and turned into him, I definitely would have hit him with those torpedoes. Set a few fires on him, which is pretty great. I've got my Congo next to me. He's burning away, sure, but he's also, hammering down on that Furutaka. The Congo, I believe, does finish him, and we win. Fantastic. 3 kills, 2 torpedo hits, not too bad. 158,000 credits and 3,600 experience. And I was second overall on the team, just behind the friendly Congo. Fantastic. That was amazing. So that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave any comments you have there for me. I'd love to know whether you think I should get the Tier 7 German cruiser first or the Thotgor first. So let me know in comments as well. Hit the old like button if you liked the episode today. If you are not a subscriber, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And as always, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.